you all very much, and thank you so much for really, really kind words. Obviously, I'm not professional at this, so I have to have notes and read from them, but I'm trying not to take too much of your time. I'd like to thank everybody for coming this evening. I know it's a horrible, wet, miserable day in the beginning of November. It's like the beginning of Lent, so you're very good to come out and give a hand. I really, really appreciate it. And this morning, actually, I was sitting in my friend Fanula's house around the kitchen table going, oh my God, there's about 7 people have cancelled, nobody's going to turn up, and I was feeling really, really miserable, wondering what on earth I was doing. And I saw this email came into my box, my email box, and it was from a girl called Breed, who's sitting there, and she's 16, and I don't know her, but she's in my constituency, but she wrote me this amazing email about how much I inspired her by going for election, and how she'd listened to interviews I'd done and read all the things on my website, and that just made me feel so good that this is why I'm actually getting into politics. So I know people will think that this is where I should have ended up. You know, I've always talked about politics, but I always used to think that politics was for serious people. You know, it wasn't really for people like me. You had to sort of be into politics. And I come from what was called a coalition family, which would vote Fine Gael in Labour, usually Labour, we used to know the way everybody on our road voted. All the families voted. Nothing was, who was Labour, who was Fianna Fáil. We never, ever voted Fianna Fáil. That was a road that we could never, ever cross, I'm afraid. So, but increasingly, and I would vote Labour because I was to think of myself as a social democrat, but increasingly, this is where I'm going to have to read my notes, I thought that we weren't engaging in the sort of type of serious politics that we should have, decent politics, and particularly as a woman with a family to care for. I wasn't seeing the sort of inclusive, collaborative politics that we need to achieve best results, and I wasn't, of course, seeing women getting involved. All the research shows that once you get women involved, business does better, governments do better, economies do better, everything does better, and yet we've only had 16%, and that's the highest percentage of women we've ever had in Leinster House in Ireland since the foundation of the state. Now, could you imagine if since the foundation of the state, 84% of the government were women? The men would be going ballistic and they'd be dead right about it. I mean, really, there'd be all-out strikes. So I thought this has to change, and I wrote about it. And for the past 10 years, I've been writing columns on all sorts of social issues, all sorts of political issues, and they generally would end with the same sort of thing. Somebody should do something about this. Really, somebody's going to have to do something about this. Somebody should definitely do something about this. And that combined with more women need to get into politics. Why won't more women get into politics? And eventually, my 14-year-old daughter, actually, who's here tonight also, Sophie, said, do you not think of doing it yourself? The book really stops here. So I thought, okay, I'll put my money where my mouth is. I was delighted to join up with Shane and the Independent Alliance because I think that they're really doing a new type of politics. Where politicians won't be whipped. I've seen so many really, really good politicians vote for things that they just don't believe in. And I think it was the cut to the low parents' allowance that was the last straw. I saw politicians that I admire voting for it, and yet saying that they didn't agree with it, but they have to do it because they're whipped by a party, and what's good for the party may not be good for the country, but if it's good for the party, that's what gets done. So that's why I'm going with the Independent Alliance. That's why I'm also running for Dún Laoghaire. I'm from Blackrock. All my family are here. Thank you, everybody. And I would really, really like to thank you all so much for coming here tonight. We're going to have a raffle because, fortunately, being an independent means you have no political background. I have no political background. I have no party. I have the Alliance, which is great, but it's not a machine. It's not a party machine. I have no father in politics. I have no grandfather in politics. I'm not a teacher. My name is Mary. So I really am, I really will need a lot of luck here. So buy the raffle tickets. We're also going to have an auction. We've had some fantastic prizes donated from Margaret Ward. There's a wonderful public speaking course, which Margaret, actually, I'm going to get you to explain it. Marion Keys, the absolutely wonderful, fabulous, we all adore Marion Keys, has given, as well as putting together a fantastic hamper here of all sorts of cosmetic goodies, a name in her next novel, which is just, I think, a super, super duper prize. Anybody else who wants to be famous? So there's a €500 voucher for, it's a cosmetic surgery. Anybody wants to do the Botox? There you go. And I'm going to get Laura, which is my girl there, my trader here, and she's going to do the auction and everything else. And there's loads of other things which will be in the raffle. Oh yeah, there's a great lot of print, signed print as well, which we'll probably should, yeah. Okay. So please drink lots of wine, eat lots of food, chat, and tell everybody to vote for me. And it has to be number 1, I'm afraid. Okay.